Effective leaders keep thoughtfulness random, predictably unpredictable. This week I read a story of the 2-turkey rule. I stumbled across this in a discussion on social media with a group of international school leaders. The discussion came from a leader who had put a number of kind and supportive initiatives in place to support her staff to enable them to teach. These included access to yoga and mindfulness sessions, paid childcare to attend meetings, and subsidised care while they worked. Admirable and thoughtful. The principal conducted a survey asking staff to rate how supported they felt, expecting favourable responses. She was upset and disappointed that her staff gave her feedback to say they needed more support and were in fact feeling unsupported. The leader received a double whammy negative when it came to some in the social media group. When they suggested that different sectors of the community would not benefit from the supports offered if you weren't a health-focused teacher or you didn't have children, and that she, in fact, as the leader, had been ignorant to assume that she would get good feedback. Others suggested that she had missed the mark. Her attention should have focused on asking the staff what they needed and to work from there. The feedback verged on intense criticism and massively towards chopping the poor leader off at the knees. Then in reading the comments, I found the gem. The story of the 2-turkey rule. It explained so much about human behaviour and really made me think about the cultures we create, unknowingly. And further still, the cultures of cultures we live within. The 2-turkey rule, and the link for that is there. In summary, one Christmas, a company gave each employee a turkey. The company had done well. The employees were excited and grateful. The next year, something similar happened. The third year, the company didn't do so well, so they didn't give out turkeys. The employees rioted. They were, after all, entitled to a Christmas turkey. To learn from this, if you do something kind or positive, or bring something to a situation as a gift, an intention of care or support, do it once. The minute you do it a second time, human behaviour adjusts so quickly that it moves this act of kindness from one of gesture and generosity to one of expectation. And there's very little you can do about it. For example, take someone out for lunch twice and pay each time. Guarantee the third time they will just expect it of you. After 2 exposures, people then begin to expect and to see your gesture as an entitlement and no longer see it as a generous act of care, even if you say it. It is when the entitlement factor steps in, we get unrest, demands, and a culture shift. I speak of this firsthand. As leaders, we are there to see the strengths and needs of our team. In a COVID-19 environment, the needs and challenges are even more prevalent. It's our natural inclination to reach out, to support, to ease, and to want to fix the situation. We set up systems to ease the teaching burden, to make things simpler, less taxing. We offer supports and respite. Teachers may have moved to a reduced teaching load with additional breaks, options of working from home, class sizes reduced to a half or a third, and they still have complaints. They want more, they want different. And let me tell you, this just isn't a COVID situation. In a previous principalship, I worked hard to build the school, change the learning environment and the learning experiences. We'd become a recognised school of excellence. And as part of this, we cared for staff too. They were the team having to make these changes. After all, they needed looking after. We worked hard to ensure teachers' well-being was a part of this. They had access to good coffee, breaks, flexible scheduling, reduced meetings, open access to resource purchasing. Initially, the team was so grateful and felt valued as professionals. However, over time, the entitlement factor came into play. They complained about the quality of the coffee or having to actually order a resource. I came to learn that the two-turkey tale is very real. And is there a way around of it? I'm not sure. Set your sails, know the direction of your team. I can say be credible, be aware, be consistently fair. Don't look to be liked. Be clear with your expectations and your rules. For me, your first answer is always no, and then be flexible and be predictably unpredictable from there. Particularly unpredictable and random with your generosity and acts of support. Don't get me wrong, our teams need our support, and some strategic changes that are consistent are absolutely necessary. These are structures and systems that need to ensure quality and effectiveness. Each change, each direction though, must be strategic, and the turkey impact must be considered. If I do this twice, do I want this to endure? If the answer is no, then think very carefully about the action. Kindness is cool. It's very cool, and we need more kindness in the world. Kindness drives me. Human nature works against us though. Does kindness actually help in leadership? Or ultimately, does it have a more negative impact on team culture than the act of being kind, not being kind at all? This is food for thought.